So here we are, back behind bars of Yamaha's all new WR250 again. We've been lucky enough to have this bike for just over a month now. After our first impressions of the bike, where we took the bike out to Jeff Ballard's place, we're here now with a bunch of fruit on the bike. We're going to run you through the parts we fitted and why. So to kick it off, we've decided to run with a GYTR exhaust system on this. The standard package is really good, but the exhaust system is quite restricted to meet ADR. For us, we don't normally, so it's not something we go like, oh, you've got to have an exhaust on your bike to make it aggressive and make it motocrossy. Like, we want this bike to be a trail bike. We're not out there to race it. We just want it to be a fun weekend bike that's got a playful nature to it. So yes, we have fitted this full system and they are expensive. They're not the cheapest mod you can do to your bike, but for a 250 we found that it really did open the bike up and let it breathe and just gave it that extra power we knew it had. So the next part we jumped straight to. Myself being a bit taller, I felt quite cramped on this bike. They have dropped the seat height about 15 mil, which is great for your shorter to kind of mid-range in height guy, because you don't want a bike too tall, because when you get in the techie stuff and you've got to dab a foot or catch yourself from dropping the bike, you just got nowhere to put your legs. But in saying that, I felt quite cramped. So I've opted for a GYTR tall seat. I did this on the 450 and I just felt a lot more balanced on the bike and a lot easier to move around the cockpit. I've paired that with a Ballard seat cover, mainly because I like the aesthetic of it. It's got a couple of little slits in it to catch your ass when you're sliding back on the thing in the wet. It's not the grippiest seat in the world, but it's also good because it's not going to tear your ass on a big long trail ride like some of them do. The next thing we did was fitted this bike with some quality hoops, and the standard tyres were actually really good. They were 6-day approved tyres, so they are a smaller FIM knob, which is great for fresh grass track and stuff like that. But when you get anything with some sandy stuff and stuff like that, you don't hook up as well, you just get too much wheel spin. So we rode them until they were flogged, and then we've opted for some Dunlop MX53 tyres. So they're a new tyre from Dunlop, which is a new intermediate tyre. We've really liked Dunlop's MX33 in the past, their softer tyre. So we've decided to step it up slightly with an intermediate tyre, and so far they've been really, really good. Touch wood, I haven't binned it all weekend on these tyres and been riding a lot of different bikes going back and forth with all different tyres, and overall really like these MX53s. Being an intermediate tyre, they should last a little bit longer than the soft tyre. Time will tell. We've only had a couple of days on them, so we'll let you know in the future how well they last. But so far, really impressed. As I mentioned, we're also added a few protection parts to this bike. We've decided to go with a GYTR plastic chain guide. Not only do they look trick, being black, they're a little bit stronger. They won't bend like the standard one will. They're just a cool little bolt-on and quite cost-effective. We've paired that with a black GYTR rear disc protector. So same thing, just keep your rear disc protected. They do come with one, which is cool. They come with a standard, quite a thin plastic one. This one's a lot more beefed up and a lot more protective. We've also ran a blue anodized GYTR case saver. It started off just a looks thing because the black bit of plastic there looked a bit ugly, so we thought this blue looked cool and it shows off your sprocket a bit more. But the more we ride, it's great because you don't get any shit caught in there, and it's just a lot more protection. If your chain does snap and come flying into your cases there, you've got a big billet alloy bit protecting instead of just a flimsy bit of plastic. So similar to what we've done to other WRs in the past, when we've fitted an exhaust, we've also changed the final gearing. With this, we've kept the front 13mm sprocket. We've upgraded it to a GYTR mud clearing one, which is just a little bit stronger, and as the name suggests, it doesn't clog up with dirt. We paired that with a anodized blue 48mm rear sprocket. So started with a 50, gone down to a 48. That just smooths out the power a little bit more, so you can run your gears a little bit longer. We've also fitted our favorite handlebar at the moment, Necken's SFH handlebar, which stands for smooth feeling handlebar. The idea of it is the end of your bars are thinner, so you can either run a grip that's the same 30mm diameter, but it's got more cushion in it. So especially for trail riding, like unless you run them, you think, oh yeah, grips are grips, but You try these, they got more forgiveness. It's like having an extra set of suspension in your hands. You don't get as pumped up, your hands don't rip apart. They're perfect for the bush. They got good feel, good grip, and they last longer than traditional grips because you do have more thickness there. So it's going to take you way longer to burn through these grips than it would a traditional grip. Another thing we added to this bike, which is more of a performance thing for us, more of a feel, is a solid rear disc. So this is a GYTR rear disc on this thing. We've done this on similar bikes in the past. It's great because it gives you just a little bit more braking feel. So when it comes to the bike's air filter, we chose to run a Unifilter O2 Rush air filter, along with their really high quality air filter oil and cleaner. And last but not least, we thought the bike looks bloody good standard, but we wanted to freshen it up, give it a bit of a personal bling to it. So we've lent on our mates at Whole Shot Graphics to do us up a sick graphics kit for this bike. We're really impressed with it. They're really thick. Like, you can get some out there that are really thin and crappy, but these are thick and they're gonna last. They're not gonna get blown off with your pressure washer. So really happy with this graphics kit from Whole Shot. Thanks for tuning in. That's a wrap up on our 2020 WR250 so far. That's all the parts we've fitted. That's basically all we're gonna fit to it. We're quite happy with that. We might chuck on a few radiator braces just for that extra added protection there. But so far, we're loving this bike. Can't get enough of it. Keep a lookout for more content on this WR250. We'll be hanging on to it for the next couple of months. We'll catch you soon.